Hello, one more video about the vehicles, and now we're going to import something from Europe to Croatia. There are many reasons why you living in Croatia would like to purchase and bring a vehicle from the rest of the Europe. First of all, the choice, both private and commercial offering is way larger since Croatia is a relatively small country and the car market here is relatively stale. And also prices. If you look at the local advertisement board and also on Facebook groups, you would notice that both car and motorcycles are, for a certain extent, overrated. I've recently gone through this quest by purchasing a vehicle in France, which was originally bought by the auction in Belgium, and would like to go through this process since the very beginning, explain it in detail so you can reproduce it step by step. You will know all the caveats and also average costs. So let's start with the very beginning. Imagine that you have already found a car, you've already found a dealer, you're ready to sign. What do you need to have on hands in order to make sure that you can safely proceed without any regrets later on? First of all, local registration. You need ownership confirmation. Usually it's some fancy document with watermarks that the car belongs to some private individual or belongs to the company or was previously registered on the private individual and then it was purchased by the company for resale, for restoration, doesn't matter. So what you need is to this ownership track since the last registration. That's the most important part, and to have on hand documents when the vehicle had its current number plates or its last number plates. Second point is the vehicle certificate. This is something that is issued by the manufacturer. It is unique per vehicle and it states all this emissions, all this regulated maximum and operating capacity, whatever. Oh, that's critical to have. There is a caveat here. You can still purchase a vehicle without it, that I will touch upon it later on. Then you need to make sure that you would have an invoice for your purchase. This will basically confirm the transaction. You need some sort of an agreement. And then ideally you need to have a transit number plate so you will be able to arrange an insurance and drive it on your own back to Croatia. But there is also a caveat. It's also possible to do without it. So before going any further, let's focus on the caveats. First, the certificate. Usually it's available. It's not a big deal and it's one of the preserved documents that everyone cares about when purchasing a vehicle. However, if you're working with resellers or with the auctions, it might be that it's missing, or it might be that only one page is present and another page was lost, or it is just a photocopy. Photocopy is fine, missing second page is not. So you have two options here. You can either press the dealer or seller or whatever your counterparty is to arrange it for you. He can find it, he can contact an official dealer or distributor and get this paperwork, or you can purchase the vehicle as is and do it on your own. In Croatia, almost every dealer of almost any brand, which is of course locally present here, for a small fee like 75 euros can, if you will tell them the VIN number of the vehicle, they will arrange you the electronic confirmation, this vehicle certificate. It's a matter of time. It takes a couple of days and it's a matter of finding the dealer, all these negotiations, but usually it's quite fast. In my case, that was a couple of emails and 75 euros. Then the transit number plates. And this is where we touch upon the delivery process. How are you going to bring it since you have purchased it? First option is ideal one, the most cost efficient, if the dealer or a seller will help you or maybe make it on your own, that you will have a transit number plates. That's important to realize that only the selling party can arrange number plates for you. You cannot get in Croatia number plates, transit number plates that are valid in a foreign country and that will be eligible for the vehicle that you don't have in hand. So either you find a way to arrange it, either you order a transportation on another delivery vehicle. It might sound quite expensive, but let's break down the costs. I've bought a vehicle on the western part of France and brought it to Zagreb for roughly 850 euros. Prices vary depending on the company who will arrange this. You can find lots of local counterparties who are doing such a transportation services on Nishka or on Facebook, and the costs vary a lot. It's from 600 till 1200 depending on who you will be working with. But for Eastern France, you can find a deal maybe around 700, and the vehicle will be next to your door within a week or within week and a half at max. Most of the time, if you go for a cheaper price, you need to pay with the cash, and you will barely have any paperwork, any official insurance and so on. And this is where you basically do your choice. Either you pay almost double and then get everything official, or you work with some private party or local party who will just do it for you within a handshake agreement. That's up to you. And then we go to the registration part. And before going to the technični pregled station, before you go to this officials that are currently doing this registration process, you need to have two things arranged. First, you need this PPMV, this sort of a road tax or automotive tax. I don't really know how it's called in Croatian. So something that you have to pay if you bring a vehicle from another European country to be able to register it here locally. And second is the utilization tax. I will put exact links in the description, but both of them are necessary. Both of them can be arranged online. You need access to the CE Gratni portal, so something like mToken will be quite useful. And it's a matter of a couple of days. You fill in the form, you submit all the documents. You got these two confirmations. First you got the invoices, you pay them, you send the confirmation that you have paid it. And usually within a day or two, this information will be already updated in this vehicles database, and you can already go to the station of vehicle review, vehicle examination, and proceed with the registration. Speaking about the costs, PPMV for roughly 8,000 euros vehicle costs roughly 700. Of course, depends heavily on the engine displacement, vehicle type, and so on. But in my case, it was 2017 small car, and 700 euros was all I had to pay for that. And then you had this utilization tax, which was, I think, relatively small. It was between 200 and 300 euros. Since you have all of this paid, now you have a quest to bring your vehicle to the inspection station. Since you have a transit number plates and they are still valid, okay, you don't need to do anything extra. In case you brought the vehicle on a transport, then you have to visit this prerequisite station on your own. You can order 3-day number plates. It costs less than 10 euros. You need to showcase all the documents in hand. And then you just put temporary number plates on the vehicle and bring it to the station. One more thing you need to have at hand, ideally up front, but also you can arrange it also in place, is the insurance. You need to have insurance before you do the registration. Usually it's 250, 2,500 euros, more or less, depending on the vehicle type and engine displacement, and of course your accident history. The whole process, this inspection, basically since you arrived on the examination station until you get the number plates, all in all, it costs you roughly 300 euros, maybe between 200 and 300 euros. And this is basically it. If your car is okay, if technically it's good to go, there will be no major issues, then you will receive your number plates and will be able to drive. Worst case scenario, you will have specific list that your car doesn't really comply, list of objections, and this is something you would have to fix before giving it another try. That's it. Relatively simple, way less complex than I originally thought, because there was no place where I could find this detailed step-by-step instructions. So I hope the one that I'm currently recording will be helpful for the rest of the community. Speaking about the costs, for me, it was roughly between 20 and 2200 euros, I think. That includes the transportation. I was not that lucky to have a number plates arranged, so I had to use the transportation, which is not that bad. I think altogether that matched the prices on the local market, so I could have been find the car also here. But the big difference is the choice and ability to do that. Because for me, the purchase price of the car included the costs of the guy who helped me with that, and that he also had a small fee on top of that, on top of the original purchase price. And that's okay. He did all the work by finding the car, making sure that it's all right, original maintenance like oil repair, liquids repair, and so on. And it costs me less than 10 hours of my time. You can try to do it yourself. You will save heavily on transportation, but still I believe that purchasing the car in the rest of the Europe, especially if you're looking at something maybe less frequent, less popular, that's way better option than trying to find something in Croatia, because local market is, at least looking at the public advertisement board, is a little bit, I would say it's relatively small and might be quite fragile, especially if you're a foreigner. I would rather delegate. This is all I wanted to tell you today. Hopefully that was helpful. And don't be afraid, go in this route. It's not that complex, it's not that difficult. And if you still have questions, leave a comment down below. I will, at least during the upcoming maybe half a year, I will actively respond to all of them. Thanks for your time, thanks for watching, and have a good day.